This episode of Unscripted is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink that doesn't cause any jitters and gives you a bunch of energy to get all your gaming done, and it energizes me to do Unscripted. So use code Krooked Does Stuff at dubby.gg and you'll get your own Dubby for 10% off, and you can also find a link in the description down below. So thank you, Dubby, for sponsoring this episode, and here's Unscripted. Hello everyone, I am Krooked and I do stuff, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating. And today we are playing Castlevania Dracula X. So Castlevania and I go back quite a ways. One of the first games I played growing up, because my first game was Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, as is a lot of people. And then the only other game that we owned for a long time was Castlevania. I've never really been a fan of Castlevania games in this style. Like Symphony of the Night, I like that game. I don't have the massive love for it that a lot of people have, but I think it's a good game. And I had the original one. I remember it distinctly because when I was a kid, one of the plastic pins for the cart had broken, and I didn't learn this until about 2016. But we always thought that the game was kind of wonky and didn't work right because it would rattle. So, you know, the game that we always would blow into on the NES was Castlevania. And it was the only game that didn't really work right. So, I mean, I guess we thought that the two went hand in hand. I never got super far in that game, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I would rather play Mario or Mega Man pretty much every day. But I know a lot of people who absolutely love Castlevania. Shout out to my brother, the Hibiki TMD, over at the Reset Button podcast. He loves Castlevania games. Also, my friend Mello loves Castlevania games. And again, I've never been a fan of the series. So I figured, why not? Let's take a look at Dracula X. I don't know if this is one of the games that is loved by the fans of the series or if it's one that's hated by fans of the series. It's a very, very divisive series in general, because there's some people who will tell you that none of them are good until the Aria of Sorrows styles games or the Symphony in the Night style games, which are the ones I like, the Metroidvania style ones. And then there are some who will tell you the classic Castlevania is where it's at. There are some people who even like the Nintendo 64 Castlevania games, which I'm not going to lie, when I was a kid I loved those. So it's a series that has existed for such a long time. There's been good, there's been bad. That's Castlevania. So far, I mean, this looks like it's a Super Nintendo game. It looks like an early Super Nintendo game because it kind of has the NES style graphics. But it looks like it also makes use of Mode 7 in the background with that really awesome fire. Oh god, I just jumped right into that pit. That sucked. So, I have no idea what the hearts are supposed to do. I've never really understood what they're supposed to do in a Castlevania game. Because they're not life. Oh, they're for my secondary. Okay. Which, mine is the... Oh, God! So I can't walk on that, but he can. That's rude. So... This is weird. Graphically, the game looks good. I can't deny that for a second. it's a little difficult to tell what you can and can't stand on, especially when there are times when you can stand on it and other times when you can't stand on it. That's kind of off-putting. Controls-wise, this plays like Castlevania. Whoa, what is that? So that was cool. I just hit X and did like this weird crazy attack. I don't think L and R do anything. A doesn't appear to do anything. X does that weird wild attack, but I don't know what I need to be able to do it again. I think I need like 10 hearts or whatever. Yep, 10 hearts. Yeah. So there's that aspect of it, which that's kind of cool to give you super attack. I guess that's a pretty big improvement from Castlevania on the NES, where you just have your main weapon, your secondary, and 2 buttons, and that's it. So I kind of like that. It feels a little dated for the controls, just because it's not the most responsive game. It's not bad. Like, you can still do what you want to do whenever you want to do it, but it's definitely not the most responsive. And knockback is still a thing, but those are all pretty much series staples for Castlevania, so I can't really get mad at that. Sound-wise, I mean, this sounds great. I really actually like it. It sounds medievally. I don't know. It's kind of a fun soundtrack so far. And it's also like action adventure-y. I like the sound. I can't get mad at it at all. I mean, honestly, the game so far is pretty fun too. Again, it's a divisive series, so I don't know what the consensus between fans are. But I think this one's a bit easier to pick up and play than the original Castlevania. That's cool. I killed it. Does it do anything? Nope. Okay. Moving on. I really like this. I don't know if... because there's certain bosses where you want certain weapons to kill them. I don't know if I have the weapon for this boss, but, you know. I'm gonna find out, I'm sure. Oh, it's, Cerberus. Yeah, eat that. Oh, crap. Okay, so that was the worst place to end up, because, that was just death right there. That's all that was. So, now I'm like, how am I gonna kill this thing? Okay. So it has fire breath. I have a whip and axes. Yeah. Oh god. Cool. I killed it. Ooh, what's that? Okay. Okay. I feel like Castlevania is kind of a spiritual successor in a way to Ghosts and Goblins. Like, even though I'm pretty sure Castlevania came first, I feel like this style of Castlevania now with everything is a successor to it, or like Ghosts and Goblins might be a precursor to it. I don't know. Or it might be a precursor to Ghosts and Goblins. It's weird. But overall, I mean, I think this game's more fun and more accessible than the original Castlevania. I don't know how much harder it can get, but the controls being okay and the graphics being really good, the sound being really good, it does have a lot going for it. And you can continue from the last level that you played, which is nice. Overall, for Castlevania Dracula X, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think this is a good entry point for people who want to play the original Castlevanias without playing the original Castlevanias. And I don't know, I enjoy this a bit. It's not like my favorite game ever, but it's a decent time. Oh god. Even if it's hard. So, with all that being said, comment down below and let me know what your favorite Castlevania game is. Maybe I'll play it. Like this video if you enjoyed what you saw. Don't forget to hit that subscription button so that way you'll never miss an episode of Unscripted. And hit that notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever a new episode of Unscripted does come out. Other than that, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye!